Konnichiwa, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to talk about objections. Zaegyo desu. Sore dewa ikimashou. So let's get going. This is the 5th year of the Sales Japan Series podcast, broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku, here in downtown Tokyo. It is chic central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, committed to your success, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Tokyo, Japan, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, Japan Business Mastery, Japan Presentations Mastery, and now my new book in Japanese, Zaegyo, is available on Amazon. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive COVID-19. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentation Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. This is episode number 276. And today we're talking about handling buyer objections. Objections are good. That sounds a bit counterintuitive, I know, because what we actually want is to land a deal, and an objection seems to be an obstacle preventing that from happening. There is a process for dealing with objections, and we need to be disciplined to follow it every time and not be derailed by our emotions. When we get an objection, our automatic response is to argue with the buyer and tell them why they are wrong. How has arguing with the buyer been going for you? Not too good, I would reckon. Even if you win the argument, the battle, you won't get the order and therefore can't win the war, if I can use that metaphor. We need a better process than this. Cushion. Instead, we need to go to our cushion. A statement that is neither agreeing nor disagreeing. The buyer. Placing a cushion between what they have just said and what we are going to say is critical. We are all the creatures of our habits, and if our habit has been to jump right in and correct the client about how wrong they are, the chances are high we will keep doing that until the end of time. The cushion is a circuit breaker to tell our brain, hey, genius, don't argue with the client. The cushion buys us valuable thinking time to come up with the right response to any objection, and there is only one response needed. So, if we can stop ourselves defending our solution for a minute, we can start to get somewhere regarding landing this deal. What do I mean when I say there is only one response needed? This sounds a bit bullshit, doesn't it? The first words out of our mouth after hearing the objection are critical. We should always ask ever so sweetly, may I ask you why you say that? Now, they have to justify the objection they came up with. Sometimes I use the metaphor of being thrown a porcupine, bristling with all of those sharp quills when we get an objection. We have to throw that porcupine right back to the buyer by asking the question, why? An objection is like the headlines in the morning newspaper. They are a very short form of conveying a much longer and complex story. We have to train ourselves not to react to the headline. Before we say anything, we want to know the full story. We want much more information so that we know which way we should answer the objection. Once we have received more information, we need to double check what we have heard is the main problem. We ask clarifying questions by saying, "Thank you. So, as I understand it, your chief concern is blah, blah, blah." It is still not that easy to understand the real problem, so that is why we need to keep checking what is the core issue. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Our show today is being brought to you by, on the 14th of February, our Leadership Training for Managers course. On the 16th of February, we're doing the 3-day version, the immersion version of the Dale Carnegie course. On the 4th of March, we'll do the 12-week version of the Dale course, and then on the 9th of March, we'll do Winning with Relationship Selling. Check out our website, www.dale-carnegie, carnegie.co.jp. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, that's the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. And they're all available on Amazon. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 1,000 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. And don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. Sadly, buyers don't always share the thing that is troubling them the most. They may tell us some minor point just to get rid of us more easily and not get into a big discussion. We want that big discussion because we want the sale. Visualize an iceberg, and the tip of the iceberg is what they tell us, but hidden under the waterline lies the real problem, which they are not sharing with us. So we need to say, thank you. So in addition to X, are there any other things which are of concern to you? We just keep repeating this until we have run out of concerns. Usually we get there in 3 or maybe 4 attempts. We ask them, you've mentioned X, Y, and Z as areas of concern. May I ask you which of these is the highest priority for you? We need to know which concern is a deal breaker, because if we can fix that problem for them, there is a strong possibility all the other concerns will just fall away. Now that we've established the main concern, we answer it and try and satisfy their concern. If it is an incorrect statement or fake news such as, I heard your company is going bankrupt, then we will deny it and offer proof that what we are saying is correct. If it is true, well, we will agree. Don't try and justify the unjustifiable. You are just shredding your credibility. If you have had some quality issues, then admit it and tell them what you've done to fix that problem. It may be a deal breaker that we cannot overcome, so fair enough. We should zip out of there and find someone we can help, wasting no more time pushing a piece of string around. In some cases, we may reverse the logic and use the concern as a reason to buy. For example, if we take a little longer than others to deliver the solution, we can reverse it and say that the extra time is due to our quality control system, ensuring that there is no rework needed and that this ultimately saves more time because rework is a totally disruptive pain best avoided. We need to check whether what we've explained gets rid of that objection or not. A trial close can be as simple as, how does that sound so far? If we've answered the main objection, but there are still other major objections, then we need to repeat the process until we get to a stage where they can buy. Welcome objections, because if there are no objections, questions, or hesitations, it could be because they've already eliminated us as a potential solution provider and they're just waiting to get to the next meeting. Better to know that early and get on our bike and go find a real buyer. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, please work on your karma and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned today. Use it and go out there and survive. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.